Alright, listen up, and I want you to listen good. Unfabulous is an underrated gem that y'all really ain't appreciating like you should be. Also, hi, glad you're here for the video. Unfabulous definitely got lost in the shuffle of more iconic and well-recognized Nickelodeon live-action shows from the time. But that doesn't mean you should overlook it. I mean, it lasted for 3 seasons. Someone out there has to feel the way I do. It was also one of the most watched programs for the 10 to 16 demographic. Anyways, today I want to look into and discuss Unfabulous with you all. Maybe I'll find some other people here who, 1, remember the show, and 2, have similar feelings towards it. Hit it, Kiki.
Day after day, life's unfabulous, and everyone around me's unbearable. I'm gonna be the one unflappable. It's better Unfabulous.
Unfabulous premiered September 12, 2004, lasting until December 16, 2007. And the creator is no stranger here to being mentioned and their work being discussed on this channel. Sue Rose, who created Pepper Ann and Angela Anaconda, was ready to tackle a different medium other than animation to tell stories. Serving as creator, executive producer, and writer for Unfabulous, I mean, just look at the intro sequence with the cutout head expressions, totally an Angela Anaconda vibe. Okay, well, Sue did create and write The Sleepover Club starting in 2003, but I've never seen it, so, we move on. Unfabulous was about Addie Singer, a middle school girl dealing with all the problems and dramas that come with the territory. Played by Emma Roberts, Addie is a musician who writes songs with her guitar about her daily life situations. Along with Addie, her 2 best friends, Gina and Zach, always get caught up in the mix of things going on. Gina is outspoken and wants to be a fashion designer, constantly getting in trouble at school for the outfits she creates. Zach, while being a basketball player, has aspirations to be an advocate for environmental safekeeping. Other main characters in the show are Ben, Addie's older brother, who throughout the show we see his life go from just this annoying older brother that sometimes shows signs of caring for Addie to a young adult who still annoys and sometimes cares for Addie. Okay, well, there's more development than that, but we'll get to him later. There's Addie's parents, Sue and Jeff Singer, who kind of tackle parenting in a more unique way. Maris Bingham and Cranberry St. Clair are the mean girls who also get the award for the worst names I've ever heard. You can't forget the school principal, Principal Brandywine, who, aside from just driving around on her scooter throughout the halls, is a pretty eccentric and sometimes strict principal. And then there's Jake, who is the main overall love interest throughout the entire show.
Here's Unfabulous right now.
The Unfabulous movie, The Perfect Moment, Saturday at 8 on Nick.
So what's this show about overall? Aside from the average drama school can bring, throughout all 3 seasons we see Addie go from having a crush on Jake that would later develop fully into a relationship come season 3 after the season 2 season finale TV movie, The Perfect Moment. Before then, it was a bit of a back and forth with finding real feelings, with Addie specifically spending most of season 2 with Randy. Who's Randy? It doesn't matter, because we're worried about Jake here, okay? And yes, if you were guessing that there might be some romantic feelings between the 2 best friend characters, you'd be right. Come season 3 as well, after Zach comes to terms that he really likes one of his best friends, and we see Gina dealing with on and off again relationships, we kind of end up dealing with the anticipation of Zach getting the courage to speak to Gina about his feelings, as well as him not feeling so great when she always gets back together with her fake Italian boyfriend, and Zach has to find ways to cope with that. But also really interesting is Ben's journey throughout the show, from being the irresponsible big brother that deals with high school related issues as he prepares for the real world of adulting fastly creeping upon him, his relationship with Addie growing within some episodes only to go right back to their bickering sibling ways in the end. For Ben himself, we follow him finding love, working at Juice, which is the local hangout joint for everyone it seems, as well as him dealing with big life impacting decisions for his future. A fact that I thought works extremely well, as he could have easily just been a one-note annoying brother character, but instead has some good depth to him. The parents even break usual parenting tradition right off the bat, with the first episode of the series being about Addie hosting a party at her house, and the parents being okay with her growing up and having a social life. Now, of course, later on in the series, they show that they aren't so lackadaisical, especially when another party is thrown unbeknownst to them. They properly ground both Addie and Ben for having it and trying to hide it. While Unfabulous was first coming out, Nickelodeon sneakily wanted to bring fans from other shows to give it a shot. So similar to how a lot of live-action Nickelodeon shows have their own NCU, Addie herself would cross over with Drake and Josh in 2004 for the Drake and Josh episode Honor Council, as Megan's friend pulling a prank. What else would you expect? This is a cool moment to look back on, as it makes the worlds of those shows feel larger and more expansive than self-contained.
This is my friend Addie. I'm her friend Addie.
One thing I'll never forget was on Nickelodeon's website at one point they would post behind the scenes content about all their different shows. They posted some bloopers of Unfabulous where the mom slips up and curses, and Emma Roberts' reaction was priceless. Unfortunately, I have scoured the internet looking for these exact bloopers, and nothing from all the behind the scenes footage out there has anything that I vividly recall. So either it remains forever a lost piece of media, or I'm an idiot and my brain is completely making it up. But if you also remember that, please let me know in the comments so I don't feel like I'm alone here. In 2005, during the show's second season, Nickelodeon's Nick Records and Columbia Records thought it was time to capitalize on the music aspect, something we would later see in shows like Victorious and Big Time Rush. So they released the Unfabulous and More album, which also would technically be Emma Roberts' debut album. And only album. It peaked at 46 on Billboard's Heat Seekers, but hey, on Billboard's Kids chart, it peaked at number 10. Emma Roberts, though, has had quite the career post-Unfabulous, with becoming a bit like Jamie Lee Curtis and being a scream queen for horror-based properties like Scream 4, American Horror Stories, and oh yeah, Scream Queens. The nerve of me to forget that. And that's just a bit of what Emma has been a part of. I'm sure I would get lambasted if I didn't say the word aquamarine. Overall, I adore what this show was. It blended so many different vibes together, from Lizzie McGuire with those out-of-body surreal visual moments to the quirkiness of Ned's Declassified. A bit of As Told by Ginger, a bit of Rugrats all grown up, but in live action. A strangely nice cacophony of viewpoints and operating a bit differently than others at the time. It offers the unique perspective writing that Sue adds to the shows she creates. It felt, especially if you were the right age growing up with it, that it truly grew up with you over its 3 seasons. The relatability factor was pretty good amongst the bits of wackiness included. Now, as far as watching it today, maybe some of the situations, dialogue, etc. are stuck between the years of 2004 and 2007. However, I don't think that means it's a bad show to go back and watch. In fact, I think a lot of it still works. The characters are fun, the brother-sister relationship of Addie and Ben is still a nice tug-of-war battle of siblings, and it offers some interesting perspectives like deciding if college is the right move or not, and what's more important for one's future.
Here's an extra scoop of Unfabulous.
Hi, my name is Sarah Hester, and here on Unfabulous, we like to play a lot of games when we're not filming.
And speak!
This
Was
the
very
last
time.
we
Brand new Unfabulous. The new series, tomorrow at 5:30, only on Nickelodeon.
It's good for the soul.
When it comes to forgettable, unfortunately it goes against its own theme song and didn't leave that impact on everyone that it had on me personally. Most people do remember it by name when brought up, but aside from knowing it as, that's the Emma Roberts show, it doesn't sit on most people's top shelf of memories. Too many other shows that went on to leave a larger impact and legacy that Unfabulous would see its fate as an overshadowed Nickelodeon live-action classic. The show came to its gradual end with its second TV movie, The Best Trip Ever, where all the main storylines in the show, relationships, and more come to a head. It's the 8th grade trip, hence the name The Best Trip Ever, and Addie wins the task of planning the trip. So after choosing a cruise for the trip, the mean girls along with Patty, another mean girl stepping up to the plate, start planning the downfall of Addie as Addie has been ascending to the heights of the popularity social ladder. Zach has his own set of issues to handle as Gina is finally single again, and since neither Addie or Gina know his true feelings, only Jake had known, Zach plans to tell her on the cruise. But before so, thanks to the tape of an earlier recorded venting moment from Zach about his feelings for Gina, Addie finds out and freaks over worrying about losing her best friends, whether they work out or not. But love isn't the only thing bumpy at sea. Not long onto their trip, a storm rages on, forcing everyone to huddle in safety within the ballroom, where truths come out, friendships are mended, and popularity is rendered useless. And through her and her friends ultimately having such big impacts in each other's lives, Addie found what after 3 years would turn her from unfabulous to fabulous. Hey, at least we got an Unfabulous Game Boy Advance game from THQ. You essentially go around doing Addie Singer things, climb that social ladder, and look just like the intro theme with those big ol' heads. If you ask the website Gamers with Jobs if you should play the game, you shouldn't. So that's Unfabulous, a show in which I fondly remember and have it held in high regards. I hope this helps give more people an interest in at least checking it out for themselves. Please let me know if you've seen the show, what are your thoughts on it? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Drop a comment. A huge thank you to Offbeat Kiki for the amazing rendition of the Unfabulous theme song. And thanks so much to you for hanging out with me today. Make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more content like this. Follow me on Twitter, or else. I'll be back with another video soon, but until then, later.
I'm gonna be the one unforgettable. It's better unfabulous. It's better unfabulous. It's better unfabulous.